Hello, Stitchy friends, and today, runny friends, that sounds weird, running friends. Welcome, my name is Andrew. This is the Runner Stitcher, my channel where I normally talk about my cross stitch journey, and this weekend I decided to do a little bit of a different video style. So I'm going to be taking you along with me throughout the whole weekend, and the reason for that is because it is Spring Mingle, which is hosted by Lindy Stitches. It's a virtual retreat where I can attend right here from my studio apartment. And I thought it'd be fun to just kind of share with you, maybe what I'm working on throughout the weekend or when I'm joining, what I'm doing in the virtual retreat. And then I also have a half marathon on Saturday morning. And so I thought it'd be fun to share a little bit about that with you and kind of take you on that running journey with me in a way I haven't really done up to this point. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're here to see what the weekend was like. And I hope you had a fabulous weekend because you will be watching this after the weekend is already over. But I hope you had a wonderful weekend, whether or not you went to Spring Mingle or not. But I hope you had a good time. So today, it's Friday, May 15th, and it is almost 6 p.m. Now, I thought I was already behind schedule because one of the virtual retreats from Lindy Stitches started at 3 in the afternoon, and I thought that's what this one was too. So I felt like I was already behind schedule. And then I went to log into the retreat and I realized, oh, it doesn't start till 7. So I'm actually a little bit ahead of the game, which is really good. So I have about an hour until the retreat starts, and I figured what I would do is kind of walk you through my night before the race, process, what I do, and kind of share you some stuff that I got when I picked up my running bib today and kind of go through that process. So we're going to start with that, and then I'm going to cook a little dinner. So I'm going to try to be filming a little bit as I do that cooking. We'll see how that goes. But that's kind of the plan. And then I should be ready to maybe join a Stitchy room or so. I will be going to bed early tonight, so I don't know if I'll have much time to pop in, but I do want to at least go check out what shopping is happening there. So anyway, thanks for coming along for the ride. So today I went and picked up my race bib. And if you are unfamiliar, a race bib is, sorry for the crinkling, is basically just your race number. So this is my bib for the Brooklyn Half. There we go. And yeah, so I'm in wave number 2. And my corral is D, and then this is my number. So when we line up tomorrow, I'll find the wave 2 entrance, and I'll find the corral that all of the people who are assigned to corral D will get into, and that's where I'll start my race. So this bib is what I received, and you can see it has like 4 little holes in the corners here. That's what I use to attach this to my running shirt. So that's what I'm going to do with you now and kind of get all of that ready. Now, we did get our race t-shirts, or our race running shirt, I should say. And I apologize because this is going to be a little crinkling, so maybe I'll cut this out just opening it up. Okay, I'm back. That was a lot of crinkling, and you didn't need to hear that. So here is the official race shirt. To back up a little bit so you can see it. It's a beautiful sort of mustardy yellow color, and it's got this really cute logo here that shows sort of the Ferris wheel of Coney Island. We've got some of the waves over here, the little subway train up here in the corner. Hopefully you can see that. And some of the other beautiful landmarks that we'll pass by during the race. So this is the shirt. Now, typically I would wear this shirt. It's a short sleeve, and I do like their shirts, the tech shirts that you get to run in. However, tomorrow is supposed to be warm. It's supposed to get up to almost 80 degrees. And I think a t-shirt might be a little too warm for me, to be honest. It's going to be chillier in the morning, maybe about like mid-50s. So it would feel good right when I start the race, but the course is really out in the open and it's supposed to be sunny tomorrow. So I don't think I'm actually going to wear the t-shirt. However, when I went to the expo to pick that up, they also had just sort of a nice chic tank top and in this black color. So it's got the Brooklyn Half logo here, and I have one of these in a different color before, and you can see it's like you can see right through it. It's very airy. These holes allow for a lot of airflow to go through, and I think this is what I'm going to wear because I think it will be warm enough when I finish the race that I'll want this. So yeah, so I think this is what I'm actually going to put my bib on. So you might ask, like, how do you put the bib on? Well, there's a number of different ways you can do it, and I am old-fashioned, I guess, in this sense. They have little things where you can like magnetize it to your shirt, kind of like needle minders, but just for like magnets, it will clip it on. I still go the old way and use good old safety pins. There we go, just good old safety pins. You know what they look like. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on my shirt now. Okay, so I've got my little setup here. This is where I'm going to be putting my race bib on. Here's the tank top that I said I'm going to wear. So I'm gonna just kind of lay this out flat, and I don't like to have the bib too high up, but also I don't want it to be like right at the bottom where it's gonna be bunching up. So kind of find like the middle section, and then kind of take the bib and place it on just to kind of get an idea of, is it centered? Is it going to look okay? And then all I do is take the safety pins and kind of through one layer of the shirt. It's nothing crazy, but just kind of pin it through there. And we've got one corner down. So I'm just going to do this for the 4 corners. And this is just something that obviously I do every time I prepare for a race, because you've got to wear your race number to get through security, and you got to have it on during the race. This is also how they track you. So at the back of this, there's this tag right here, and that is how they track you on the app. So they can see where you're at, so that they know if you finished, and yeah, kind of where all of that is. So I've never really taken you on this journey with me of how I prepare for race day, but this is definitely a must. Some people do this the morning of the race, and I just prefer to do it the night before. I prefer to have everything ready because it's going to be an early morning anyway. I'm probably going to have to get up around like 5-ish, maybe even 4:45. So I don't want extra things to have to remember or do in the morning. So I like to get this done kind of early on. So there is my bib. That looks pretty good. It doesn't have to be straight because you're just going to be running in it, and it's not going to be, it's nothing. It has to be exactly right. Now, the other thing that I wear for race day is my lucky pin. I'll try to show this here if I can. It will show. I don't know if it's going to show. There we go. It's this cute dwarf from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's this cute dwarf pin, and it just says work. And I think it's so cute. So this is my lucky pin that I wear every race. And I always just put it kind of up in the top part of my shirt. So I'm going to just put it up here, right by this New Balance sign, or logo, I mean. Just clip that on. So that's what it's going to look like up there. So now I'm going to just try this on to make sure the fit is good, and we'll see you back in a second. Okay, I am back, and here is what the fit sort of looks like. Hopefully you can see most of that. The race number is on there. My pin is on there. Everything sort of fits and looks good. I think it's going to be nice and airy for the race tomorrow, and I'm excited. This is what I'm going to be wearing. So then once I have my shirt ready, then the next thing I do is I like to sort of lay out everything I need for race day the night before, so that again, when I wake up in the morning, I don't have to put it all together. So what am I talking about? Well, first of all, I like to wear a headband because I sweat a lot, and I find if I don't wear a headband, the sweat just sort of drips into my eyes, and it's not fun. So a headband keeps the sweat out of my eyes. This is one I got from the marathon. Hopefully you can see that. It's 2025, last year's marathon from New York City. So I'll be wearing this. So I laid that out. If I wear a hat, which I'm not sure if I will or not, but I've got this New York City themed hat that's got like apples on it from the Big Apple. It has a pigeon on it. It's got, I think there's a hot dog on here, just a pizza, rat, just a lot of fun stuff. So if I'm wearing a hat, this will be it. Then I also have my sunglasses. These are the ones I wear for running. They're bright, they're fun, but they protect my eyes and help me to see clearly when I'm out there and the sun is sort of in my eyes. So definitely will be wearing my sunglasses. Then the next thing I have is my running pouch. and this is the one I use. It's very small, but this pouch is very stretchy. The material is very stretchy, so you can actually fit a lot in there. Typically my phone fits in there as well as a few running gels, so I love that for sure. And so I will be wearing that. And then in the pouch, I take some running gels. And typically for a half marathon, I usually only take 2 of these running gels. Sometimes for a half marathon, I don't even need them, but sometimes I do. And so I like to have options just in case. But the ones that I like to use are Goo. That's the brand name. But the green one is a salted watermelon, and the other one is salted caramel. And I like to replenish my salt where I can. So both of those, having that extra like boost of salt, these kind of just give me the energy to keep going on race day if I'm feeling a little sluggish. So got to have those. And then the last thing that is utterly important is Mr. Nipple. And that might sound kind of weird, but basically what these are is you put them where you would expect, and it helps for chafing. So it's just these like tiny little circles, but when you get sweaty and hot and your shirt is sort of like rubbing against your body, it can cause chafing. And the last thing that you want to have is chafing of the nipples. So these I wear every single race. Really, I wear them anything over 10 miles, and they don't show through. They're just a very like skin colored item there, so they don't really show through any clothing or anything, but it always protects me, and I'm super glad to wear them. So that's probably too much information that I just shared with you, but hey, it's all part of the running thing, right? The last thing I need to get is my shoes for race day, and for tomorrow's race, I'm going to be wearing these Hoka. These are the same shoes that I wore for the New York City Marathon this past year, and they're not worn out yet. I typically try to save a pair of shoes just for race day so that they're kind of in tip-top shape. They're not going to be worn out. They still got some miles on them. So that's what these are. They're a great shoe. I love wearing them for running, and that's what I'm going to be wearing on race day. And other than that, I just lay out my whole outfit. So socks, underwear, running shorts, my running shirts, I kind of just lay it all out, have it all in the chair, ready to go for in the morning, so that when I wake up, I can shower quick and then just get dressed and go, because it will be an early morning. So thank you for getting ready with me today. I will probably put in a picture here, or maybe I'll take a little video of once I have the outfit sort of laid out and what I'm fully wearing. And yeah, thanks for coming along for the ride. The other thing to remember before race day is stay hydrated. So I've got this water bottle here that I have drank, I think maybe 3 of these today, and probably will keep drinking maybe 2 more throughout the evening tonight. And you just want to stay hydrated before the race. Having water on race day is good as well, but you really need your body to be hydrated the days leading up to the race. So water in here, that is what I'll be drinking. The other thing that I like to do before race day, whether it's a half marathon or a full marathon, is have a pasta dinner the night before. And this just helps kind of carb load, and so your body sort of stocks up on those sugars that then you can use during the race, and your body kind of pulls from that stock that you had the night before and uses it for energy during the race day. So I'm going to be making pasta tonight. So come along with me and let's make some pasta. Okay, and when I say lay out my race outfit, that's exactly what I mean. So I've got everything here on the chair for race day, including my shoes at the very bottom of the chair, so that basically tomorrow morning I can just slide into everything we talked about. So that's what I'll be wearing and looking like for race day. You'll see all of my threads beside me because this is my stitchy chair. And yeah, so that is done and ready to go. Okay, let's get cooking now. So this is nothing fancy, but I just wanted to share what I'm making for my pre-race dinner. The first thing I use is Trader Joe's. Tonight I have macaroni. Sometimes I have rigatoni, kind of switch it up with what pasta. I really like their bow tie pasta as well, but their macaroni pasta is really, really good. And the thing I like about it most is that it's great for heating it up later. So I'm going to make this whole bag because I'm going to reheat it if I need to. If I don't, I'm not going to eat this whole bag of pasta, but it will be good leftovers to have for the rest of the Stitchy weekend, so that I prepare this meal now and I'm kind of good throughout the weekend, which is great. So Trader Joe's pasta. I've also got Trader Joe's creamy tomato basil pasta sauce here, so that's what I use. Tonight I've got some buffalo style chicken meatballs, so I'm going to be putting those in the pasta. And then just to add some veggies, I've got some sliced mushrooms and baby spinach that I'm going to be adding to the pasta. So we'll see how this all goes. The first thing I need to do is I should have been defrosting these meatballs earlier in the day, and I forgot to get it out of the freezer. So I'm going to have to defrost these. While I'm doing that, I might start boiling the water for the pasta. Okay, are you ready to see just how tiny my apartment actually is? I'm going to show you most of my apartment right now so you can see the space that I live in. I'm going to flip this around and you will see the brick wall. You know that I film in front of there, and you know that's where my stitchy chair is. You'll see I've got my mystery project on the stand right now, and that's sort of ready to go. Down here is Winston. He's looking up at the camera like, what are you doing? Say hi, Winston. Can you say hi? You don't want to say hi? Okay. So that is sort of my stitchy corner and where I do my stitching. Then over here, we've got my little countertop, and this is a little island that I purchased because the kitchen itself did not come with a counter space, and you will see that in a second. So I've got all my ingredients here to make the pasta, and so the countertop looks a little busy at the moment, but I've got it set up there. Then we move over here, and this is my kitchen. So this is the oven and my sink. We've got some cabinets and the microwave up here, and my fridge is right here. So this is true New York City studio living. Now, I will say, down here underneath the sink is actually a dishwasher. It's a very tiny dishwasher, but it is a dishwasher, and that's a kind of a rarity for a New York City apartment. So I'm lucky to have that, although I don't really use it that much. I tend to just wash my dishes because I don't have that many. You'll also notice up here, I've got one of my cross-stitch patterns. It's the Pixel Dragon Sal that I did a while ago, and then a beautiful drawing of Winston and myself from my former roommate. So that's my kitchen space, and you'll see it is right next to my chair. There's not a lot of space there, but that's the kitchen. Then over here, we've got the bathroom, which you don't really need to see. And then we've also got, in that little door there is a washer and dryer, which also is another rarity for a New York City apartment. So I'm very lucky to have that. I do use that all the time. Then if we turn back over here, you will see the windows that bring so much light into my apartment, which I love. I've got my TV sort of set up there in the middle for me to watch things. I've got my little patio space right here. So when it's nice out, Winston and I will hang out there, and I'll sit on that like little pool chair. And it's just a beautiful view. I get a lot of sky view here and just, the Harlem view. So that's my little patio. Now you'll notice that this is a window. So the only way to get out to the patio is through the window. There's no door. So that again is very New York to me, but that's my little space. Here's my desk. This is where I used to work at when I was working remotely. And when I had a job, you'll see my other cross-stitch piece up here. This is the Odyssey Sal from Quaternion Creations. And I have that hanging right there, so I see it every single day while I'm sitting at my computer. But this is where I do all of my editing, all of my, transferring the videos, all of my YouTube stuff on here. And then we've got my bed right here in the center of the room. So there's the bed. Again, this is the kitchen right here. So everything's kind of all in one space. That's what a studio apartment is. And then I apologize for the kind of clutter on the floor, but here are the shelves, which hold most of my stitchy things, the important goods. All of my kits and stitchy books and fabric in those middle bins. So someday I'll take you through all of that stuff and kind of share what I've got. And then this is a closet right here where I keep my clothes. And I got some additional storage up there. And that's my little apartment. So as you can see, it's not huge, but I make do with it. And learning how to film in here has been challenging at times because it is so small, but I'm making it work, and I really enjoy the space. It's mine. It feels like home, and I'm really grateful for it. So that's a little tour of my apartment. Now let's get to cooking because I'm starting to get hungry. Okay, I'm going to be cooking. I probably will speed this up a little bit so you don't have to watch me cook everything, but I'm going to just be cooking. So enjoy this little segment. And if I don't speed it up, just enjoy the sounds of me cooking, I guess. No. Stop. 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 Okay, so while we're waiting for the pasta to boil, I am going to log into Spring Mingle because it's now 7:07 and that means the event has started. So I'm going to go ahead and join. So I am logging in now to Spring Mingle. It lets you set up your profile as much as you want. I probably will do it later since I'm walking through this with you, but look how fun this is already. We've got the chat going over here that people are saying hello from. We've got all of the little instructions over here off to the left. And if you've seen any of Steph's videos, she walks through all of this very clearly to help you navigate through. There's even like a deep dive here of how the retreats work, so you can watch that if you have any questions. But basically, we have these menu items off to the left. There is the stitching lounge, and these are all the different rooms that you can hop in and stitch with people. So if you want, let's talk about stitching or in bloom with the spring ivy weed. A lot of spring themed rooms, which is just amazing. Back to the fuchsia, a lot of cool ones. So I'll be popping in and out of those rooms throughout the weekend. We've also got the shopping hall, and this is where it is exciting. I think the shopping hall is open now, so you will see all the different items that some of them are exclusive to the retreat, some of them aren't. So I can't wait to peruse through this and yeah, just see a little bit what all we have in the rooms. So I'm going to do some shopping now. And we've also got whip speed dating if you want to join. Looks like the first one starts at 8:15. That's a great way to sort of meet people as well. And then we also have our agenda, which you can kind of see here. I bet this welcome to Spring Mingle is happening right now, so I might turn that on while I'm finishing my cooking. And yeah, we'll just jump right into Spring Mingle. So let's get going before my pasta's ready. Okay, people, stop. Okay, it looks pretty good. I'm going to string it out. And okay, so the noodles are ready. I'm going to turn back the heat just a little bit on that burner. I'm going to switch the handle over here. I'm going to pour the sauce into the noodles. That looks delicious. I must say so myself. I'm going to put the handle back on the pasta. A little bit stir here. Looks like it's coming along pretty good. I'm excited. Give everybody a little attention. Make sure the spinach is shrinking down, warming up. That looks pretty delicious as well. So I think we're ready to plate for this. Okay, so nothing too fancy, but here is my pasta dinner with a little bit of cheese on top, and I'm excited. I'm hungry, so I'm going to eat this now, and I'll follow up with you in a little bit. Okay, well that was delicious, if I have to say so myself. Winston even managed to sneak a little noodle, which he's not supposed to have, but it fell on the floor and he was way too quick for me. So he had a little taste of it as well. We'll see how he does with that. No, but the pasta was delicious, and yeah, I feel very full now, and it's about 8:30, so I am ready to start stitching. I'm going to join some of the stitchy rooms and check out some of Spring Mingle for a little bit. I probably will be stitching for about an hour and a half, depending on how tired I get, but I do want to get lots of sleep because I'll probably be up very early tomorrow morning. So the project I'm going to be stitching on is my next Mania piece, and that piece is Woodland Enchantress. So this is where I am on her. Sorry, it's like folded over here, but this is my progress so far. Last time I worked in the background over here on this section, and this time I'm not sure where I'm going to work, to be honest. I may fill in a little bit more in her dress in this section, maybe fill out some more of these greens. I'm not sure what I'll be feeling tonight, but this is the project I will pull out. I'm supposed to get 500 stitches in this, so I'm hoping that between the little bit of stitching tonight and tomorrow's stitching, I'll be able to get those 500 stitches in, and yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I just had a wonderful evening of stitching tonight at Spring Mingle. I was in a room, I think I was in Back to the Fuchsia, which is a perfect name. And yeah, got to stitch with a number of people, and there were some other Flosstubers in there, which was great. So had a really good time. I think I ended up stitching about 150 stitches on Woodland Enchantress. So that'll be coming back out tomorrow to keep going on that project. But it's time for bed. I've got a race in the morning, so I will be up early and I'll be following up with you then. So until then, I'm gonna get some rest. Good night. All right, so it is 5:10 in the morning. I just took a quick shower, hopped into my running gear for the day, and I'm ready to go start on the race. It will take me about an hour to get to the starting line, so I'm gonna leave here in just a few minutes, and I'm tired. Race nights, I never sleep the best, but I did get a little bit of a sleep, so that was good. I wasn't out too late at the stitchy tables, but yeah, I'm getting ready to go. So I will take you along with me on this ride, but we're about to head to the subway. All right, it's 5:30 in the morning, almost 5:30, and I am heading to the subway now. Hopefully you can hear all these birds around me that are chirping, because they are definitely waking me up this morning. So it's really nice to hear the birds going, and if they can wake up this early, so can I. So we're off to the race now. I will probably check back in once I'm at the starting line and kind of ready to go. Alright, here's the starting line. We're going to be going in about 15 minutes, so join me for the race.
Our Achilles athletes to the start. They're ready to go. They're having fun. Big smiles on those faces, which we love. We got a little purple haze. Little.
Okay, so we just passed mile 7. The sun is right behind me. You can see how bright and sunny it is. There's not a cloud in the sky. So now we are getting to the boring part, which is just a straight shot down to Coney Island. And yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I've got
I'm gonna stay up here for
I've got Destiny's Child Survivor playing in my headphones, so I'm like good to go. But here's a look at the race. All right, we're at mile 9. 2 more miles done. Mile 9 is where I take my first goo. So I'm gonna do that now and get back out there and start running. I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, we're just about 800 meters to go. Almost at the finish. Here's Coney Island, the roller coaster, Cyclone. We're just about to head onto the boardwalk. It's almost done. Here we go, I'm about to finish. About to get onto the boardwalk. All right, I just finished. Got some water. I felt great the whole time. That was probably the most fun I've had at the Brooklyn Half in a long time. This was really awesome.
Bags not claimed
happy
by
to be here.
1:30 p.m. will be taken to the New York Road.
All right, it's done. I finished. Brooklyn Half is in the books. I felt really good the whole time. I got sort of a second wind at like mile 8, and I just was kind of cooking it the rest of the race. So super happy with this one. Here's my medal. I did it. Thanks for following along. Okay, so it is now 2:15 and I'm just walking back to my apartment from the subway. There were major issues with the subway coming back home. It took about 2.5 hours to get back, what should have taken an hour. So, poor Winston, he's probably really wondering where I am. Yeah, so this day is gonna get away from me before I realize it. So I'm gonna go home, take a shower, get some food, walk Winston, and hopefully join some stitchy rooms later tonight. Yeah, I don't have any other plans tonight, and I think that's just what I'm gonna do. So hopefully I'll get to see some of you there. But what a beautiful day. Look at the sky, it's just so nice. The sun is shining, such a good race. I really felt good, and yeah, it's just a good day. So that's my plan. So I was stitching for a while in Spring Mingle, and I watched a little bit of the Picture This Plus sort of Q&A session, which was really interesting. Fun to see sort of their little basement studio and how they do the dyeing of the fabrics. And I looked out my window and it was just so nice. So I had to come out here. So I grabbed a beer to celebrate my race today, and I also grabbed a caramel chocolate cheesecake ice cream because why not? I'm allowed to celebrate today. I ran a half marathon, so I can do this. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'll show you a little picture of the front as well. Of course, Winston had to join me, so he is here sitting with me, and we are just watching the sunset right here. So it's a lovely view. There's nobody else out here. It's just nice to sit and chill, and it's not so humid today, so we're just enjoying the lovely weather. Okay, it is now 10:30 p.m. at night, and I'm exhausted. I was up at 4:45 this morning before the race, and so I just left the stitchy room. I sort of snuck out. I just hit the wall. I'm ready for bed. But I'm happy to say that I did get 505 stitches between last night and tonight on Woodland Enchantress. So here's what she's looking like now. The part I stitched on was a lot of this right in through here, these blues and golds, which was a lot of fun. And I brought some of this green down a little further in this section. So yeah, she was fun to get back out again. I will say I was ready for her to go away before, and I'm still ready for her to go away. So she's going to take a little break for a little while because I worked on her a lot in Florida, made some really good progress, and just ready for a break. So it was fun to get her out for Mania to get the 500 stitches in, but I definitely feel like I need to just have a little time away for now. But I will be excited to get her back out. She's not going away forever. So that's what I stitched on. I also had a chance tonight to watch Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery, his Q&A session, which was so fun. He's just a wealth of knowledge, and he's so fascinating to listen to. I loved to hear him talk about his collection, and yeah, just really enjoyed the Q&A at Spring Mingle. So I'm super excited to tomorrow tune in and watch the his little lecture that he's giving. I think that will be a lot of fun. So I did that tonight, got caught up on that, and then was just in a stitchy room. And there's just, even though I didn't talk much tonight because I was pretty tired, there's just something so comforting about being in a room full of stitchers. Everybody is just stitching, and just hearing all the chatting about patterns and everything just gets me so excited about this hobby. I really love this hobby, and there's so many wonderful things to stitch. we can't ever stitch them all. But yeah, it was just great. It was so much fun to be in the rooms. For the end of the night, I put in one strand of my round robin piece that I received. This is Jason from Jason X Stitches piece. That's probably why I had Jason on the mind earlier. And yeah, I put one strand in that, so that was really fun. Let me see if I can pull it out for you. I might as well show it to you since I just did it. Here's the piece. So he stitched his quarter already right here, and mine will be this top corner right here. So I just put in this one strand of the brown right through here. This is going to be the hot air balloon. He stitched this one. My hot air balloon will be right here. So yeah, worked on that tonight. Got a little progress on that. That was fun. And I'll probably pull this out a little bit more tomorrow to work on, because I think this will be easier than my next Mania piece, which is on a frame, so I'll have to use my stand for it. But this was fun to stitch, so I'll probably get this back out tomorrow. So that's it for me for tonight. So I am gonna say goodnight to you, and I will talk to you in the morning. Good morning, Stitchy friends. It is now Sunday morning. I have my coffee. It's about 9:30 in the morning. I had a little bit of work to do for the part-time bookkeeping gig that I have. So I got up early this morning, completed that work, and now I have my breakfast. I've got some strawberries and yogurt here for breakfast. I slept really well last night. I think I was just so tired. I finally went to bed around 10:30 or 11, and being up so early for the race and having so much fun at that, and then just all the fun at the Stitchy tables, I was exhausted. And I slept really good last night, so I feel much more rested today and ready to tackle Spring Mingle day 3, third day. Yeah, got my coffee and my breakfast. I'm going to hop into some of the Stitchy rooms now. I've got about an hour and a half about 2 hours until I've got to leave. I actually have a birthday brunch to go to for a friend today, so that will also cut into my Spring Mingle time, but I'm excited. I'm excited to go celebrate with them. And then I'll be back tonight, so I will be back on stitching at that point. So I'm going to work on my round robin piece this morning, I think, because that's kind of the easiest one to grab and just stitch for a little bit. So that's what my plan is, and yeah, maybe I'll see you soon. Okay, so you know those days when the day just completely gets away from you and suddenly it's much later than you thought it was? Well, that is today. I had a birthday brunch celebration to go to this afternoon for a good friend, and thought I would be back in plenty of time to join some of the Stitchy rooms, see the finish parade tonight at Spring Mingle. It's now almost 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I am just getting home from, feeding Winston, eating, and walking Winston. I don't know where the time went. I don't know where the day went, but it was definitely a lot of fun. So I'm sorry, I missed basically all of Sunday. I did catch Jacob's lecture this afternoon or this morning. That was wonderful. He is just incredible to watch. I just had so much fun with that. But yeah, Spring Mingle is basically over, and I missed a lot today. Sometimes life just happens, and that's okay. And that's what I'm trying to tell myself. But I think I'm going to join for the last couple hours. I'm going to try to join a Stitchy room and at least hang out with some of you and get some stitching in. So we'll see what happens. But otherwise, that's the end of Spring Mingle and my half marathon weekend. Much busier than I expected. Not as much stitching as I expected, but really just a great weekend, enjoying everything that I love. Running and stitching, seeing all of you, and it's been really fun. So I'm going to stitch for a little bit, and then I will be back to sort of wrap this all up. Good morning, Stitchy friends. It is Monday morning at 9:15 in the morning. I was going to film at the end of last night and sort of show you where I got and everything, but it got really late. I stayed in the Stitchy room. See, even Winston is still tired. I stayed in the Stitchy room until I think it was almost 1 a.m. In New York City, and at that point, I was just so tired, I just went to bed. But I had a lovely, lovely time finishing out Spring Mingle with some wonderful stitchers. And yeah, it just was a great end to the weekend. It definitely was a very busy weekend, but my heart is full of things that I love doing. Running, seeing friends, and stitching with all of you. That was just wonderful. The weekend was great. I really loved the lecture from Jacob. I loved his Q&A as well. I dipped in for a little bit of the Picture This Plus session, and that was interesting to see how they dye the fabric and everything. But yeah, just a really wonderful event. Again, thank you to Lindy Stitches for putting that on for all of us, because these virtual events really do bring something special, and it's great to get to attend those. So I behaved and I didn't buy anything in the shopping hall, which was good. I have enough projects to work on at the moment, and yeah, so just had a really great time. And I'm going to show you where I got to on my piece, on my round robin that I was working on. So I worked on this a little bit more last night, and I think what I filled in was some of this section. So I don't think that boat was done before. This motif was not done. I think I filled in the bike and this animal right here. So lots of little motifs that I worked on while I was stitching last night. And I'm actually pretty happy with my progress so far in this. This is not a big piece, so it shouldn't take me too long to get all of this completed to pass on to the next person. But it was really nice stitching while I was in the rooms. There was some counting, but it wasn't too bad. So I really enjoyed pulling this piece out. You know, the next Mania piece that I have is one that's on a scroll frame, and so that's a little tough to work on when I'm at my computer as well. So yeah, so I worked on this one and happy to have gotten so far on it. And I think that's all I've got for you. So I'm going to stop this like little bring you along for my weekend kind of video now. But thank you so much for joining me if you are watching. And I really had a great time this weekend. So have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon in my next Flosstube. Bye.